So this particular video is going to be completely different to what I'd normally do. This is actually about the bait that I'm using. Now I've had loads of people message me, obviously pike season's coming up, and I've just took an order of bait that I'm going to be using for the next couple of months, well pretty much for the whole season really. And I buy mine in bulk as well. So just to give you an insight, that is a simple dead bait pack. You get several different fish in there. This is quite an old one. I bought this as an emergency pack when I was running low on the bait that I normally use. And you get about 5 or 6 fish in these packs from the tackle shop. I think they're about £5 a pack. And then the bait that I use is these ones. Same price, but you get a lot more for your money. Now, people have been asking me where I get the bait from, how much I use throughout the winter, how do I prep it for the night before, etc. So yeah, I'm going to go through all the bits and bobs, the companies that I use, and then if you live in the UK, you can actually order it from the company. It's not a sponsored video or anything like that, I'm not involved with them, but I've had that many questions about what bait I'm using, so I just thought I'd put something together, quickly show you guys what I'm using, and then it'll save you a few quid in the long run. So before I do that, I'm just going to quickly show you a few fish that I've caught over the past couple of years. If you're new to the channel, I've had some really big pike. And the main thing about any bait that you use in pike fishing, it doesn't matter what bait you use, it's being confident in it. If you've got a hungry pike, it will eat anything. But one of the main reasons why I use this is because at the price point, it's a really good quality bait, very oily, very bloody when you're using it. So without further ado, I'll quickly show you a few clips of the fish that I've been catching over the past couple of years, and then you can make your own mind up. What can I say, I'm over the moon, an absolute beautiful looking pike. I'm going to quickly show you a side view in case she starts flipping out, but I mean look at the length of it, that is an absolute clunker. Look at that bad boy. This is what you want to see when you're fishing the Trent. That is an absolute clunker. What a beautiful, beautiful creature. And that's why we do it. Finally amongst some of the big girls, and that's in prime condition. What a beautiful looking pike. Look at the size of that head, that's got to be well over a metre long, that fish, and they take on a completely different form when they go over the 20-pound barrier. Look at that bad boy, that is a fenland drain clunker. Look at that, it's an absolute beast of a pike, it really is. To be getting this succession of big fish we've been having is unbelievable. I mean look at the girth on her, that is an absolute clunker from a fenland drain. And like, look at that bad boy. That is an absolute unit. £2 off the £30 mark. Honestly, I really wanted that magical £30, but I think this might do, to be honest. So this is the actual box it comes in, and you've got a decent sized box. It actually comes insulated as well, which is really good because it keeps your fish nice and fresh. Yeah, so nice insulated box. And you've got a nice seal around here. And like I say, I just always take my time when I'm opening the box, because like I say, you can reuse them, they're brilliant these are. And then it comes in another box, nice and sealed up. Nice little customer service note there. Get these dry ice bags in here, and the bait, I mean it's still cold, absolutely brilliant. So I normally order 3 or 4 boxes of these, and I've got a chest freezer that I put the bait in. It's absolutely perfect. And that is it, the bait is still absolutely freezing cold, as you can see with the bags. And like I say, £5 for a bag of those is absolutely brilliant. I mean, you get, and the good thing I like about it, you've got an array, sort of a different selection of fish. So different sizes. You've got fairly large sardines, you've got small ones. You know, there's a nice selection of different bits and bobs in there. So if you want to be fishing for small fish, if you know there's a lot of small pike in your venue, fishing the small little ones are absolutely perfect. You wouldn't be fishing massive baits because it'd be a waste of time. And then if you're after the big pike, if you want to be using really large baits, you know, there's a good selection in there. So all in all, it's absolutely brilliant. So I get, normally in each box, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, we've got 5 kilo in total. So like I say, these are absolutely brilliant. I use these all the time, and like I say, you get a nice selection of different sizes in here, which is absolutely brilliant. The last thing you want is to be fishing with large fish all the time. You do want different sizes, and like I say, you've got medium-sized ones there, you've got tiny little ones there. So like I say, if you've got a lot of small pike in your venue, they're the kind of baits you want to be using. You wouldn't want to be using really large sardines because you get a lot of drop runs and it'd be an absolute pain. So what I normally do is on my sessions, if I'm doing a day session and I think I'm going to get a few fish, probably 4 or 5 fish, then all I do is basically just get one of these sealable bags and I'll just get a handful of fish. So I'll get a mixture, a few large, a few small, and I'll do probably about 6 fish, 7 at a push. So what I'll do, that'll do me for a day session. I think that'll be absolutely fine. Sometimes you can get away with using a bait again if it hasn't been mangled up when you've caught a fish, but generally speaking, that's all I do. So I'll just pretty much leave that to defrost the night before, and then that'll be ready for fishing when I go for my day session. If I was doing maybe a 48-hour session, then I would probably take maybe a full pack. If I knew the bites were coming, if the conditions were absolutely perfect, then I would do probably a full pack of those if I was hammering it on the river. If I was going to the Trent, then it might be a bit up and down because, you know, you're not going to be guaranteed to catch lots of fish. So that's when I'd probably take, for a 48-hour session, probably half a pack of those, to be on the edge of caution. But I do like to use these resealable bags because the worst thing you can do is take too much bait and then it get wasted, and then they do go off and they do tend to smell quite bad. And using a manky old bait, I've used them in the past, but to be honest, the fresher the better. So that is why I always get these from Bradley's. They're absolutely brilliant, and like I say, the cheapest chips, like £5 for a kilo of fish. So all in all, that is my preferred method of what I do. And I do like to use sardine anyway because full of oils, full of blood, absolutely brilliant, and pike absolutely love it. Now, if I'd probably say smelt was cheaper, or maybe mackerel, I'd probably go with those, to be honest. It's not so much the bait, it's just a case of the price point, because the last thing you want to do is go into a tackle shop spending an absolute fortune on small little packs with 5 or 6 fish, when for the same price you can get all those. And if you've seen my video, you'll know full well I'm a big fan of sardine. They do the business, use them year in, year out. I've got nothing to worry about. That's all I do is just use sardine. I know the pike love it. Good scent trails, especially when you're on a river with quite a bit of flow to it. It's going to carry the scent trail down, and it's an all-round good bait, and it's probably the cheapest bait you can probably buy, to be honest. I did go through a phase where I was using mackerel, I used lamprey, I used eel sections, and to be honest, over the years it made no difference whatsoever. I've fished next to anglers, I've fished with friends, and we've all used different baits, bits and bobs, and not one fish made any difference. It was all about the location of where the fish were. There was a session where I did where there was myself, somebody next to my left, someone on my right. We did a session, a friend of mine on the right hand side caught all the fish, and he was using all different baits. He wasn't using one in particular. So it's all about location and finding the fish, and you'll find that one peg sometimes outdoes others, but the main thing is being confident in your bait. That's all that matters, and that's why that's all I use, just sardine. So that's the company I use, cheap as chips. I order quite a lot of sardine throughout autumn, winter, and sort of coming up to springtime, especially when the pike are getting ready for a spawn and they're on the feed. So yeah, all in all, that's the bait I'm using, and I'll be using this for the rest of the season. Catches me anything from small fish to absolute monsters, up to £31 from last season. And yeah, that's the bait. So yeah, get on Bradley's Fish if you're looking for some cheap bait, and yeah, order away, and hopefully you'll get some big pike this season.